All right, today we're going to have a little bit different discussion. We're going to discuss a few tips. I'm going to share a few tips of how I do my flea market hunts. Yeah, let's talk.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
So I know a lot of the views on my channel are actually flea market views, and I'm okay with that. I enjoy the flea market, and I'm pretty good at sniffing out magic, and I get a lot of questions of how do you find this, where do you find this, and I don't think it's a question of where. I think it's more of like you do your research, right? Like I drive an hour, 45 minutes to an hour to get to the flea market that I go to. I go to the same, okay, this goes into the tips part. I go to the same one because if you go regularly, you get to know regulars, right? And when I say regulars at a flea market, you gotta find one that isn't just junk, that is people, resellers, and like liquidation people. They sell estates, these types of people, storage unit people, right? And a lot of people will spend the whole season while the flea market's open, renting out the same spot and become a regular. Okay, that being said, it pays to befriend and talk to the regulars. I mean, like, if you're gonna walk around the flea market and be all quiet, you're missing out on not only half the fun but half of the collections that are out there. Like, look, we're talking about specifically Magic the Gathering. There's a lot of stuff that I see good deals on. Okay, so that's going to be my first tip is, one, make friends with people, because these you got to think about it like this, right? You're going to the flea market and you're casting your net as wide as the flea market, and that's a lot of sellers. That's a pretty big net, right? But now each of these sellers have their own net that they're casting and bringing in stuff, right? So if you talk to them, your net isn't just the flea market. Your net has become their nets, okay? And the flea market on top of that, like a metaverse, an actual cool metaverse. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So by talking to them, befriending them, your reach is extended by an order of magnitude. Like, I can't express to you how many of my bigger finds have been from that secondary net, where people bring to me stuff from the outside and they contact me and I meet them outside the flea market too, or they bring it to me for the flea market because I talk to them. So number one tip is going to be talk to people, ask questions. And if you ask a lot of questions about Magic, you will always get I've gotten this statement at least 5 to 10 times. Somebody's a big joker and they say, I had them, but they disappeared. Aha. Aha. I get that one a lot. Okay. Tip number 2, right? A lot of these locations will have someone like me who goes every week and is dedicated to that spot. So if you're not that person, you better go early. Man, you don't even know. I go pre-dawn all the time. I pay to get in early as well. Is it always worth it? If I wasn't making flea market videos, it might not be. Some of those collections definitely are. A lot of the times, maybe 60% of the time, it's not worth it. The entrance fee for what I get out of there, I'm not making any money. I'm losing money. But that's not really what the flea market's about. I enjoy walking around. It's like, I'm talking to some of my buddies. I have a, nice coffee. I get my exercise in. It's a good thing to do on a Sunday morning. And why not look for some treasures while I'm at it? That's how I see it, and I can make a video. It's like, it hits on a lot of cylinders for me. Without my wife, it wouldn't be possible, by the way. She takes care of the baby while I go. Sooner or later, though, I'm going to bring the baby with me, but that's sidetracked. So, number one, talk to your people. Number 2, freaking show up early. If you're showing up late, if you're not first, you're last. Another tip, what to look for. When I'm there early, I have to scan fast and like look through oh boy, the amount of stuff that I have to look through early on and like ask questions. What I look for is white boxes. That always helps. I look for toys. When I see Pokemon, I get excited. When I see other cards, I get excited. Comics. And then sometimes I look for era stuff, like if there's cassettes or CDs. So, for instance, if there's cassettes or CDs, this kind of 90s stuff, VHS as well, maybe you'll have some Magic cards. You might have some other cards like these Frazetta cards. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look for like items or collectibles as well. Like, so you're looking for either these white boxes that are kind of ubiquitous. Clearly, you're looking for anything Magic. You're looking for colorful stuff. If somebody's got a bunch of rugs, I don't think they're going to have much different than rugs, But if somebody's got a bunch of comics and they only have comics out, it might behoove you to ask them if they have Magic cards. Because, hey, literally that situation has happened to me and I've gotten a collection like that from a comic book seller who had a few cards. And a few in this situation being a box full. So I'm saying, it pays to talk and it pays to understand what you're looking for. You also want to get good at looking for fakes. I mean, this isn't a big issue for Magic at the flea market as it is Pokemon. Definitely know your fakes if you're going to buy Pokemon at the flea market. What else? So a business card or a way to contact you is very helpful because I've had people contact me for my business card. And, really, it's about being persistent and about being... it's like a job. If you treat it like a job, but enjoy it, Like, you show up on time, you show up early, you're always there, and you always do it to the T. You don't miss any steps, and it's like you're prepared, you're ready. There's a bunch of things. Because let me tell you, once you get into the groove, it may even be more than you can handle. I haven't turned down a collection buy yet because I'm honest with people too. There's 2 ways I buy things, right? If somebody is just like a reseller and they don't care, I just ask, how much do you want? I'll buy it. Usually I'll look through a few cards to see if I can probably pull that. And then I'll just buy it blindly, the rest of it, right? But if somebody's like, look, I got a few cards, I don't know what they're worth, why don't you take a look and make me an offer? I'll look through it, right? And it's like, look, you got $40 to $80 of cards here. But that's full retail, okay? Meaning you're at the flea market, so you don't have fees, you're getting paid in cash, so you don't have taxes. So there's a lot of wiggle room because full retail is assuming fees, taxes, shipping, right? So there's a lot of wiggle room to come down in price. Now your 40 becomes 30, 28, right? Then most of these cards are played. So you just slice off half right there. So 28 becomes 14, right? Then you look at your time and effort and what's going to be valuable to you. And look, are you going to pay $14 for $14 worth of cards at the flea market? I don't think so. So then you say, look, this is $14 is what I'm going to get out of it. I can give you 8. I can give you 10 if you're being generous, right? And it's like, that's why in some of my videos, it's like, oh, I paid $200. Hey, this is a $1,000 collection. You have to take all the factors into account, including how much time it's going to take to sell these cards. So I find that if you're honest with people, you can usually come to a pretty good understanding and agreement and a place where everybody's happy. That's another thing about the flea market. Don't try to make it a home run and rip people off every time because that leaves a bad taste in people's mouths and they won't want to come back to you. I try not to do that. And I urge anybody, I don't think I've had any negative dealings at the flea market, but if, you know, you've dealt with me and you feel that way, please have a discussion with me and we can discuss. Yeah, so that's my tips for the flea market. It's not that difficult. Again, like it basically comes down to treating it like a job, but enjoying it. Just being like, you know, semi-serious, you know, you don't have to be serious. You can enjoy your time at the flea market, but like the steps, the method, that's what you got to be serious about, you know, and the persistence and the earliness and all that. All right, I've rambled on long enough about the flea market. I enjoy the flea market. I hope you do too. We'll have a lot more flea market videos in 2025, the year to come. I don't know when you're going to see this. Might be early 2025 or late 2024. Otherwise, if it's before 2025, Happy New Year. Take care. Have a good one. Remember to like and subscribe. If you like my content and my flea market videos, do consider becoming a patron. We got a lot of cool stuff on there, including cool box breaks. If you're going to buy any cards today, remember to use my TCG Player affiliate link in the description. It is free and easy to use. Otherwise, take care. Have a lovely day. I'll catch you soon. Peace.
Game over, man. Game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?